You see, he had used the machine to transport the unconscious Richards to a parallel universe in order to help him. All right, I'm going to stop before we proceed on. So, this guy was chasing his dog, whacked his head, and he didn't know he whacked his head. Obviously, you never know when you've hit your head and gone unconscious, but he woke up in a room, and at first this man introduces himself as Jonah and says he's on a work-related trip for a dimensional travel agency. So now we're in a world where there's dimensional travel agencies, like us calling up and booking a trip to Disney World. We call the travel agent. So, I mean, where would you go if you had a dimensional travel agent that you could just call up? Where would be your choice to just? Where would you want to go?
I go to the void in space.
I like this. People,
Would you die?
People come to
Just find out what it is.
Yeah, people go to the pre-corona dimension 1, like a prom dimension. I like it.
You'd go back to before coronavirus?
No, that's what I'm saying.
You
That's
would
what
choose?
people would do. It'd be like a 12 monkey situation. Like people would.
You gotta go back in time to stop.
People would just be coming back to Earth right before the pandemic wiped everybody out.
You can just go to Faye Reagan's house.
What if it was a spinny? What if it was a spinny board? You ever been to a travel agency or been in the mall? You ever seen those travel agency spin boards where you flick it and it's like you just won a trip to Costa Rica?
I haven't seen
This guy to Bruce Willis.
Well, so what if you had this opportunity where this dimensional travel agent was like, all right, try your luck, and you spun, and he's like, you just won a trip to the 25th dimension. Good luck, boink, and he like bleeps you there.
Or you go back in time and you end up on the wall of China fighting the Mongols.
No, you're fighting the aliens on the wall of China with Matt Damon.
I just imagine that whenever you say you've been teleported to the 25th dimension, you just show up there and it's just lights and seizures and screaming, and you're just falling.
It's just neon lines.
Yeah, and it's just people. You just hear screaming and lights flashing in your face.
So,
just madness.
Of course, the logical thing to do in this situation was to start discussing pop culture, which led Jonah and Richards to the topic of the Beatles, a band both dimensions shared. To Richards' surprise, in this alternate dimension, the Beatles were all alive and still creating music. Richards brought back a souvenir cassette tape entitled Everyday Chemistry that was composed of Beatles songs never released in our dimension, which he helpfully uploaded to his website. And I actually have that here. It's just a cassette tape that says The Beatles, Everyday Chemistry, which I call bullshit. Actually, if you want to download the album, use the links to the left or grab a zip file. He actually has
Don't.
He actually has 11 songs.
Don't click it.
You don't click that.
That same logic. That's like the same logic they use in Nightmare on Elm Street when they brought Freddy's glove from the dream world to the real world. That shit don't work.
Oh, babe, there's no money in our bank account. I clicked a link.
I'll unzip the file.
Whoops.
I was a real big Beatles fan. Yeah, so by that logic, if you bring them into our dimension, then it makes them powerless, right? Like Nightmare on Elm Street.
If you brought,
you were saying,
Ring,
so stupid.
Let's see.
They call me Dreamwalker.
What would happen if you brought a Beatle that was already murdered in this dimension?
Dreamwalkers.
If you brought one back to this dimension, what would happen to the Beatle that was already supposed to be dead in this one?
They'd suck each other off.
That's already happened. That's what happened to John Lennon, right?
Would he just come to this
different dimension?
He killed himself.
He got taken to a different dimension.
Oh, okay.
Would he just come to this dimension and immediately die?
It depends. I mean, as long as the atmosphere and everything was fine.
So he's dead in 2 dimensions?
It depends on which. If you're, it depends on if you're doing the alternate dimensions and you're just doing the where one effect leads to another effect, because there could be thousands of possibilities where he died and thousands where he lived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what if you bring him to a dimension where he's not supposed to be alive? That's my question. What do you...
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways, so...
I thought it was like bullshit cassette tape. He fucking made a mixtape in his basement. That's college rule paper. Come on.
But he has all the songs there. So I'm gonna see what Four Guys is like.
You just play one?
Yeah. Oh God!
Whenever we were
Chris,
saying if you could be you could be transported into any dimension, I said transport me to Faye Reagan's house.
You know way too much about Faye Reagan.
I like how I knew exactly who you were talking about when you said it.
That's who I was talking about. Not that scene.
I can remember who it was, but I was trying to think like why. It's been like 5 years.
Dude, she's
since
like a
I've heard that
knockoff
name.
Lindsay Lohan. She even has the puffy nipples.
I hate that.
It's not
I hate
bad.
that.
Yeah, go scroll halfway down, and there's one of her that just got blasted, and her puff nipples are there, which nothing wrong
Well,
with
that's
puff
pretty
nipples,
neat
but-
looking.
Which part?
What? What's neat looking?
The whole
It's like-
hand?
I've
Or
never
the
seen nothing like
puffiness?
that. No, not that one.
There's no nipples
The
at all.
one,
It's
the one
just
Tyler's
round.
talking about. It's just like puff.
There's absolutely no nipple.
Then let me-
There's no difference. There's no actual dimension change
Let
from
me
breast to
See what
areola
I
to
think
nipple.
he's talking about.
Wait, no, this isn't the
Baby
one
oil.
I'm talking about. But I'm
Look at that.
What the?
I like how I click on the actual picture and it just makes a bigger, blurry picture.
Click on the link.
I know that. I just said it's funny. Just click.
No, that is funny. I didn't realize
Jesus,
that.
what happened to that? That's a tumor. That looks like.
I don't know
Oh,
what
I got a
happened
picture. I'll show you. It looks like Pigman. That's what that looks like.
what her?
Yeah.
That's almost like somebody's been like, it's like somebody went cupping.
Yeah. So yeah. I'll show you.
Yeah,
I'll show you.
it's like they sucked way too long on those things. That's like when someone takes that cup and they suck on it, and then they get their lips in there, and when they finally pull the cup off their lips, there's like a gallon of blood in their lips.
Ah,
Okay, so this one's kind of cool, even though they have a tier list, like a 10 to 1, but this one's like number 4. And this happened in 1972. 4 girls were driving back from the Southern Utah University. While crossing the desolate Utah-Nevada state line at 10 p.m., they came upon a fork in the highway. They veered to the left and began driving through the desolate Utah-Nevada state line at around 10 p.m. They came upon a fork in the highway where they veered to the left, and they were driving through the Gadianton Canyon. Gadianton Canyon. Anyways, the pavement turned into white cement. Believing they had simply taken a wrong turn, the girls headed back the way they came, but to their surprise, they were suddenly driving past grain fields and ponderosa pines with no desert in sight. So they stopped at a roadside tavern, they asked for directions, and they quickly changed their minds after one of the girls began screaming hysterically. 4 egg-shaped vehicles mounted on tricycle wheels with bright lights shining from the top of them began speeding after them. The terrified girls sped back through the canyon as the white cement changed back to its normal black asphalt, leading them into the familiar desert. After wrecking in the creek, leaving them with 3 flat tires, they waited until morning. They hiked to Highway 56, where they flagged down a state trooper. So the tire tracks that they left are difficult to explain. The only tire tracks left by the girls' Chevy ended up abruptly only 200 meters or 600 yards into the desert, which leaves the mystery of how the girls ended up over 2 miles north of the highway with no physical evidence of their travels. The car was also missing a hubcap that was never located. Maybe it got lost somewhere in the Utah desert, or maybe it's being displayed at a museum on a parallel Earth. Solid evidence of dimensional travel by 4 college girls that never needed any fucking attention at all.
Dimensional Mormons, man.
We went into the parallel universes, but there's obviously conspiracy theories that are super deep, and we skimmed the surface. We didn't touch anything remotely close to how deep this goes. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, do you guys believe that there are other dimensions besides ours?
Yeah.
I come out of
I
it
do.
thinking like I'm from Tard, man. I'm thinking, yeah.
You're a tard. Would they be called Tardians
That's even cooler, man. I'm a Tardian.
or a Tardite?
Oh, yeah. So this man, it looks like he's got, like, glass. He looks like he has glass over his tits.
What is this?
He has slut tattooed. Oh, here they come.
Oh,
It's trying to make me sign in when I hit full screen.
Oh, his...
impartial forked centipede.
Whoa, look at those
did he do?
jugs. He loves them. This man, he loves them.
What is wrong with this guy?
He's got a heart. He's got a heart on right now. This man put these huge suction glass cups
Wait,
over his nipples.
Are you guys listening to it with sound on?
Don't want
No,
to.
I'm not.
you got to turn go to about 40 seconds. Turn the sound on.
If you want to go to,
It's Miss Talon's
Wait,
cuckold
let me
property.
if you want to look up the poutine video he made, that would really set the night. But do that in your own time.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
18 seconds. 18 seconds. Volume on. Do it.
Oh, that was a queef. Oh man, he's so proud of him. Look at these titties.
Sorry about that.
He's jiggling and laughing as he's doing it. It's like,
How'd you even come across that?
It's been on the Your Mom's House podcast. They've been talking about he's the human pig. There's some great quality content right there.
Now, are those like specially made things, or are those just 2-liter bottles cut in half?
they've got to be specially made. He put suction to them, and he could release the pressure from them.
Yeah, I feel like I can make a contraption like that with a 2-liter bottle, some surgical tubes, and some duct tape.
Damn, he's loving those tits. He's caressing his own tits like they're on someone else. Now, what is he making noises with his mouth? What? I'm not even. I can't hear it, but I can see his mouth and his face contorting like he's making weird noises. All right, so
Anyway.
we're gonna get some suction cups for Alex, and we're gonna get a sweet picture next week, and I will get I'll get a penis pump, and we'll see how big we can get the. We'll see how big we can get my big old schlong going.
I'll get a swastika tattooed on my forehead like this guy.
Stay classy.
Nice.
The funny part is that his nipples have tattoos on them.
Yes.
So, Thomas, hit him up with our email, and anybody that wants to send us pictures of their penis pump in action or their pumped breasts, send it to this email link, and let us know how it's going.
That is tactlabpod@gmail.com. TACTLABPOD@gmail.com.
But don't cause any harm to yourself. Don't do any harm to yourself. That could come back to us. We don't want you to penis pump. We don't want you to breast pump. But if you do, take a picture of it and send it to us. We want to see.
Do it anyway.
I want to see that penis pump penis. You know what I'm saying? I want to see those old man titties that get pumped. This is a new chapter in my life, so I want to learn. I mean, I'm looking at Faye Reagan, and Thomas just turned me on to Faye Reagan, and she has some big puffy nipples that I've never seen before. So I think it's a redhead thing. I'm just going to go out on a limb and maybe say that it's a redhead thing, those puffy nips. So
probably,
if you're a redhead out there, send us a picture of what your nips look like so we know for sure.
I heard the doors don't open either. The automatic doors don't open for...
That's for a different reason.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. So I'm going to leave off by saying maintain your social distance. Don't go out to these parties and bars and give high fives and fucking French kiss your waitress. You know, just be respectful of personal space, and have a good time at the same time. Thomas, what do you got?